This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. The Pan American Health Organization addressing the declining of positive COVID-19 cases in the Caribbean region, but also a slowing of inoculations. Director of PAHO, Dr. Carissa Etienne, says that they are concerned about this trend as holidays are coming up and Caribbean countries experience an uptick in travel.
The best response is to continue our national campaigns to vaccinate all residents against COVID-19 and sustained caution by heeding the recommended public health and social distancing measures in all our countries, even those where the cases are declining. Some of our countries have relatively limited hospital capacity, and so we can quickly saturate our intensive care units, our hospitals with COVID patients. And really, believe me, you don't want to end up in a hospital with this disease.
She adds that her advice to the Caribbean region is to take all precautions. Dr. Etienne also making this plea to those who are still skeptical about the COVID-19 vaccine.
There really is no reason to fear or to distrust these vaccines, as they can save your life, the lives of your family members and community. I want to urge the same for residents of all the countries of the Americas. Please get your vaccine when it is your turn and as soon as they are available. I also urge people to remain cautious about close interactions with others who may not be vaccinated or in closed, poorly ventilated places like some bars or restaurants. And please continue wearing masks properly and practicing the other public health measures that have been recommended by your governments.
Now, last week, Member of Parliament for Marco City, Michael Pintard, asserted that vaccinations had fallen from around 1,000 a day to just 500 a day. In response, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville did note that vaccination rates have slowed in the past few weeks as health officials found that vaccination centers are not as effective as they once were. Consequently, the Ministry of Health and Wellness developed vaccine pop-up sites and mobile vaccination units to counter the falling vaccine rates. The Ministry of Health and Wellness in their latest COVID-19 report confirming 16 new positive cases for November 16, 2021. The capital carrying the majority with 14 and one each on Abaco and Eleuthera. Two of the newly confirmed cases from New Providence have a history of travel within 14 days. Total cases in country now stand at 22,629, with 210 of them active. A breakdown of the new cases revealed that 12 are male and 4 are females. There are a total of 44 cases hospitalized, with 34 considered moderately ill and 10 in the intensive care unit. No new deaths were reported. Total COVID-19 deaths remain at 669, with 68 under investigation. On the flip side, 10 cases recovered yesterday. Total recoveries stand at 21,547. The pilot program of free COVID-19 testing continues on. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Michael Darville speaking to reporters just before the weekly cabinet meeting. He says they wish to continue the pilot program on the Family Islands before bringing free testing to Nassau.
First of all, we're not completed with our pilot testings in the Family Islands. If all goes well, on this Thursday, we intend to be in Bimini. While in Bimini assessing the clinics and the Ministry of Education assessing the school, we'll be doing another pilot project. All of this is to make way so that when we arrive in Nassau with our additional pilot projects, we definitely will be in a situation where the digital platforms associated with the pilot testing would have already been worked out, and we'll begin to move swifter from that point on.
Free COVID-19 testing has so far been successfully launched on Inagua and Eleuthera, with health officials planning to launch the pilot on Bimini soon. Chief Executive Officers of Cable and Wireless and BTC both paid a recent courtesy call on Prime Minister Philip Davis. Reportedly, the meeting was very productive as both BTC and Cable and Wireless have invested interest in telecommunication giant and are excited to work with the new government. Cable and Wireless CEO Inga Smits pledged to have their entire network fully fiberized throughout the Bahamas by 2023. Smits says the telephone company is also committed to support delivery of a 5G pilot program in the country. Meanwhile, BTC's Andre Foster reminded that the telephone company has invested more than $173 million in capital expenditure over the last 5 years, including hurricane restoration and educational initiatives. BTC's fiber network currently covers 60% of New Providence, 47% in Grand Bahama, and 46% in Exuma. Foster and Smits also updated the Prime Minister on other major projects with the government, with a number of them ongoing, like the CCTV initiative with nearly 350 connected cameras in New Providence. Both CEOs agreed to support the government in its nationwide digitization agenda. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.